Hey guys, what's up? In this video, I will be talking about the Sabbath day. One of my favorite holidays in the year is Christmas. I love the celebration, the decorations, the food, and the meaning behind Christmas. An analogy that really helped me to understand the Sabbath day was comparing it to Christmas Day. Christmas is a day where we set aside busyness to rest and find time for things that fill us with joy. I started seeing the Sabbath day as a holiday. I could celebrate it 50 times a year. The Sabbath is a day set apart for rest and to spend intentional time with Jesus. It is choosing to set down the other important pieces of our lives for one day just to celebrate. One of my favorite authors, Jefferson Bethke, called the Sabbath day a day of resistance. Jefferson talked about how the Sabbath is a resistance against hustle and instead learning to stop and rest. All aspects of our life are important to God. He values hard work and cares about every part of our lives. However, life gets busy. School, work, family, friends, deadlines, all aspects of life can get really overwhelming. I'm sure we have all felt that in the midst of the busyness, we can forget to spend intentional time with God. While I do talk to Jesus throughout the week in the midst of work, there is something special about setting a day to rest. We have an opportunity to keep ourselves grounded and rested by practicing the Sabbath. The Sabbath can fill our lives with more joy and transform our relationship with God. Imagine how much deeper we can develop that relationship with God by intentionally setting time apart just for Him. In the Bible, the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 2-3 says, "And on the seventh day, God finished His work that He had done, and He rested on the seventh day from all of His work that He had done." So God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it God rested from all His work that He had done in creation. Even though God doesn't need rest, He instituted this practice for us. God values work. In his book, To Hell with the Hustle, Jefferson Bethke said, "At its core, Sabbath is an invitation to fill the earth with God's presence." That first Sabbath is when God took up residence in His creation, and so we set apart a day to remember that and ask Him to come in a special way again and again. Every week, God's perspective was to work, then rest. Here are some questions to ask yourself before implementing this practice. What is your first thought about spending a whole day on Sabbath? What keeps you from feeling excited for this? What are fears, worries, barriers you foresee in spending a whole day in Sabbath? How can you trust God with these? What do you think the hardest part will be? What about the best part? How do we begin practicing the Sabbath day? Here are some ideas to help us get started. We can begin to implement this practice by picking one day a week, maybe Sunday, and putting away all distractions and busy work to intentionally spend time with family, friends, and community. You can try turning off technology for a few hours and filling that time with something else that gives you joy. You can set time to journal, talk to Jesus, and think about the things that bring you joy. For me, it's going to the beach and spending time reflecting and processing with God. I sometimes go to my favorite coffee shop with a friend, I take a long nap, or read a good book. We're all different. At times, it will be boring, or it will be hard or confusing. That's okay. Give yourself grace. Together, let's see the Sabbath day as a day to celebrate, not a duty. It is a day to intentionally set apart for awareness of God's presence and to practice rest.